And we're back. Okay, Mary. Like, I always find it interesting when it comes to things like this because again, I feel like this is a mirror. This is a complete mirror of the other situation that I had in 2021 and stuff. And that because it's like whenever I seem to respond to things and that like in situations like this where someone decides to come at me publicly after I've put out a statement or a video or whatever it is, which I said in the other video, I accept. I accept. But you didn't get that far because you stopped watching when I accused you of blocking me on Twitch. So I'm going to take this time to point out where you fucked up on that point and that like you messed up completely on that point because if you would have actually listened, if you would have actually watched the whole video, if you would have taken the time like you wanted me to take the time to read your comment and take in so-called advice and so-called skills and exercises that you did to help you out and that like if you wanted to do that and if you didn't want it to be public then you would have made it private, but for some reason because of the way that I choose to respond to you on a public platform because you made a public comment on a public video, I am now the bad guy and I am now bullying you when all I'm doing is responding to you. And I love how the tone of this response is completely different and you're so empathetic now and you have so much compassion now when before the comment was full of judgment and venom and resentment. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, but you're trying to deflect it and like, oh, I'm sorry if you assume that I was being hateful in any way. I'm sorry that you assumed I wanted you to check in on me. Like, what? Like, what are you talking about? I love it. I love it. I love how you just completely like reframe everything. Do you know what I mean? You try and reframe everything once again, but you falter from the first line that you make. I watched it because I got a notification with the video title and was curious. Okay. I wrote what I wrote. Okay, and I've responded the way that I've responded. Isn't it? Because it was an honest response to what you said in the video. That's fine. That's fine. It's a public. I put it out in public. I've got to expect that people are going to respond. But it's not the fact that people are responding, it's how they respond. Like I said before, like if you were just any person, I would have ignored you because you have no idea what you're talking about. You don't know me. We've not had any experience with each other. But you're not. You're you're someone who I do know. Who you're someone who we have had dealings with, yet you blocked me from everywhere almost a year ago. And now is the time that you decide to come out and speak about things. And I find it funny that you once again had the opportunity to detail if there was any problems, and that you once again had the opportunity to detail what those problems were with me that you have specifically with me, and you've chosen not to do it. You've chosen not to do it. You've chosen to try and reframe again. You've chosen to skirt around the issue once again. Do you know what I'm saying? And you're trying to dictate how I should respond to you, which I'm sorry is just not going to happen. I am going to do another video highlighting this for everybody else to be able to see because you commented on a public video. So I'm going to respond in public. If you wanted me to do it privately, you should have responded to me in private. but you're contradicting yourself because you say you stopped watching the video when I accused you of blocking me on Twitch. Therefore, you are admitting that you blocked me everywhere else. So in terms of being able to respond to you, you're also lying. You did block me on Twitch. You did block me on Twitch. It was on Galvatron's channel when I found out, yes, you have blocked me on Twitch. And that because Galvatron has the chat showing up on screen as well as the chat being at the side of the screen. Can't see you in the main chat where I can actually type in and leave comments, but I can see you in the chat that's on screen and see your name coming up and see you responding to Galvatron on Galvatron's channel. See, I can say names when I need to say names. That's where I saw it. I love how you've not responded to anything else that could have been responded to privately, but you're now saying that I'm bullying you because I'm responding to you publicly, even though you've responded to me publicly. And I'm going to take the time to debunk the things that you're saying, even if you do think it's sad that I'm doing it. Even if you do think I've got all of this time, yeah, I've got the time. Yes, I've got the time. It's nothing to me. If I want to make time for it, I'll make time for it. Yes, I've got the time. I've come off a beautiful, to be fair, I've come off a beautiful, beautiful phone call with an actual friend. Beautiful phone call where a lot of things were put into perspective for me. Beautiful phone call, mate. Do you know what I mean? Really sorted me out. Really, really put me in my place, humbled me, confirmed a lot of things for me. Do you know what I'm saying? Amazing phone call. Going to be linking up on Friday, going to be traveling, doing an event together. Everything's good. Do you know what I'm saying? Amazing phone call. On the phone for 2 hours and 45 minutes. Broke down a lot of shit. Was real about a lot of shit. So trust me, I'm happy right now. I'm happy. But the same way you got a notification, it's the same way I got a notification. Like the first time you commented. So let's get back to this comment. Apologies for digressing. It was an honest response to what you said in the video. I think it's sad that you wasted time making a video to publicly make fun of me for something as stupid as a comment on a video. If it's a stupid comment, why did you make it? Why did you waste the time in making the comment yourself? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy, the irony with shit, but it's all right when you do it. It's not all right when I do it. Okay, cool. Sorry, I didn't have the stomach to finish listening to whatever else you said after you lied about being blocked on Twitch. I'm not lying, though. I literally just told you where I saw that I was blocked. Because if I wasn't blocked, I would have messaged you. Heard that. Glad to see that you're okay. Saw that there was looking for you. Rare. But, okay then, cool. You know? Sorry, I didn't have the stomach to finish listening to whatever else you said, and you lied about being blocked on Twitch. Okay, I lied about that, but I'm not lying about everything else. Okay, Mary. Due to the fact that I moderate a fair number of channels there, so confirming the fact that I went to people whose channels that you moderated to see Wagwan about you. I wasn't looking for information to make you seem bad or anything like that. But after having that experience and wanting to make something of myself on Twitch and not wanting to run into situations like that, I'm going to go to people that are more experienced. If you want to see that as me going around and bad mouthing you, then cool. You take it as that. I take it as people telling their honest opinions on their experiences with you. There's a difference. There is a difference. But if you want to take it as bad mouthing, take it as bad mouthing. Cool. I moderate a fair number of channels there. I haven't blocked anyone anyone except certain person and a few Canadian guys who have called me racist names in the chat. I'm sorry you assumed I wanted you to check in on me. Where in the video did I say that you wanted me to check in on you? That's not what I said. I said there were people looking for you because they cared about you. I tried to help find you by looking for you myself. Couldn't find you. Why? Because you blocked me everywhere, including Twitch, because I tried to find you on Twitch. But okay, you're sorry that I assumed you wanted me to check in on you. Okay, whatever. I was referring to the part in the vlog in which you were questioning whether you weren't invited because you were depressed and didn't make it to meet up with them. I mean, that was the situation. I mean, that sentence within itself, if I was invited, then I would have been there. If I wasn't invited, then of course I wouldn't have been able to make it to the meet up because I wasn't invited. But okay, I'm honestly not trying to make fun of you or anything like that. That sentence itself just doesn't make any sense. There was no part of my comment that was meant to imply anything regarding you and I communicating in any way. I didn't say that there was. I said it. I found it interesting that now is the time that you choose to pop up after nearly a year of us not speaking to each other, and that with the comment that you commented with. Once again, there was no part of my comment that was meant to even imply anything regarding you and I communicating in any way, which is why I use generalized terminology. I mean, it sounded very specific to me, what you were saying. There was no part where I could see it as a generalization because you are replying specifically to me in a video where I'm specifically talking about my feelings due to experiences that I've gone through. So I'm not sure on the generalization part. The only parts that are remotely pertain to any personal communications between you and I were when I referenced your feelings about how people treated you when you have done the same to others. Please tell me where I have done this with others, considering that all of our friends and mutual friends are from Twitch. Most of our mutual friends are from different countries. Most of our mutual friends from the Twitch platform are from Canada. When I went up to Canada, if there was an opportunity for you to be able to come down to be able to meet us, that opportunity was there when our mutual female friend FaceTimed you to say hello with your boyfriend at the time. And then guess what? Your boyfriend turned up to the event. You had the opportunity to come, but you didn't. You stayed where you were for whatever the reasons were. So I don't know why you're trying to make out that within our circle, I was doing things where I wasn't inviting other people. And if you are talking about other situations, then you can't compare them to this. You can't, because they're not the same. They're not the same situations. You asked, do I invite everyone to everything that I am doing all of the time? What a stupid fucking question to ask. If you're talking in reference to yourself, how am I supposed to invite someone who lives on the other side of the world to everything that I'm doing in the UK? You live in America. I live in the UK. What the fuck are you talking about? This is not me making fun of you. This is me responding to you. You are not making any sense. And when I mentioned that you felt the need to volunteer the fact that you've participated in talking badly about me behind my back, it's not my business what other people talk about unless they tell me, which is okay. And what it was rude of you, it was rude of you to involve me in that. Because again, it's not my business who, how, or why people are discussing me when I am not present. But it's okay for you to do it to other people. It's okay for you. It's okay for you to do it to other people, but people aren't allowed to do it to you. So when I had to pull you up on how you were talking about somebody in my Twitch chat, to the point where they had to message me privately about what you were doing, and then when I spoke to you, you just admitted the fact that you don't like them and they've done this and they've done that and this, that, and the third. Were we all in the same room where he was able to defend himself? No, we weren't. You were talking behind his back. And the only way he would have been able to defend himself is if I went back to him and said, oh, she said this, and then I'm stuck in the middle of somebody else's. No. I said the same thing to him that I said to you. Keep your disputes out of my stream. It's as simple as that. Keep disputes with other people out of my Twitch stream, which is what you failed to do in that instance. Because even I could see within the chat, like, are you two just bantering, or do you two actually have a problem? Because it's actually making the chat awkward. That's the first time I pulled you up on being my Twitch mod. I went to other people to see, oh, is this a common thing? Is this a common thing that you do? Do you know what I mean? Or are you just thinking, oh, because I'm new to Twitch and I don't know the rules or the etiquette or this, that, and the third, you feel that you can just talk to whoever, however you want in my Twitch streams? No, of course I'm going to speak to other people that you're a mod for, as you have admitted, and be like, yo, is this how she's going on in your streams? And yeah, a few of them came back and said, yeah, there's been an instance of this, there's been an instance of that with this person and that person. They're telling their honest experiences with you as a Twitch mod. But because you're being seen to be a little bit of a problem when it comes to being a Twitch mod, you don't like it. You don't like it. Because if you weren't being a problem, no one would have anything to talk about. Nobody would have a thing to talk about. Mary. You questioned whether you are the problem in that situation, and the answer is that the answer to that is never a singular cause for anything. So maybe you contributed to whatever caused you to feel hurt, but I'm sure there are other factors. That's not what you were saying before. You were saying maybe it's a reflection of how you've treated other people. Your exact words. Maybe I'm getting a dose of how I was treating other people before. That's your words. That was your words, Mary. People can literally go back to the other video and read the comment. Literally the same way they're going to be able to go back and read this one. But I'm sure there are other factors, which is what I was trying to communicate in the comment that caused you to take time out of your day to publicly single me out. There was 2 comments on the video. There was I'm not singling you out. And again, it's the fact of it's the fact of the comment. It's not the fact that you responded. It's the fact that it's what's in the response is what I'm responding to. But you don't seem to understand that. You don't seem to understand that. To single you out and pick on me on such a public platform, the same platform that you're responding to me on. I'm sorry I have to repeat myself, but it is not healthy to take things like this so personally. So why did you take the time out to respond? Why have you taken it so personally that you feel like you need to project our situation onto this one when they're not the same? They're not the same at all. And in terms of whatever that I'm leaving other people out of that you're trying to compare and saying that I'm doing the same thing to other people, please give me examples, please, because I am a fucking loner, bro. I am a loner. I spend a lot of time on my own. So in terms of me going out and doing things and not inviting other people, if that's a possibility, it's a very far and few between possibility of that happen. It is always other people inviting me out to things. It is hardly ever I'm doing something where I need to invite other people out to. Because of my depression, because of my PTSD, I spend a lot of time on my own. So for me to be doing the very thing that people accuse me of just isn't possible, which is why your comment doesn't make sense. And if there is an example, please detail it. I don't see how, because you live in America. I live in the UK. There isn't a way that there could be a meetup that we could all be having, or a meetup that I could be going to where I would be able to invite any of you lot to that you two could just come to. Like, it's like, what are you talking about? You need to give you need to actually give an example of what you're talking about. Because I'm actually detailing what the issue is between us, is you being a Twitch mod. If there was something that I was supposed to invite you to as a Twitch mod, please give that example. But you're not going to, because you're talking out of your ass. And again, you're trying to use this as a way of painting a narrative about me, painting a picture about me, which is not true. The reality is, I was concerned about your well-being because of the title of the video. So I watched it and I made an honest comment about what you said. And the greater theme of my comment is that if you felt that people are shunning you because of how you deal with grief, nobody deserves to have people around them that would make them feel that way. And that you didn't do anything to warrant either feeling like you're being treated like you described in the video. But that's how I feel. I'm not saying that's how they feel and that's why they are doing it. I'm saying that's how I feel. I don't want to be a burden. I don't always want to be talking about my grief, this, that, and the fucking third. And that's what I'm saying I feel. But I can understand if they choose to be like that. But it's not. The specific situation that I was talking about is not that situation. It's not that situation, though. It's a completely different situation. But you're trying to conflate 4, 5 different things, 6 different things into one. Where I'm literally talking about that situation and then how that can lead to overthinking on my part. I am literally showing people a case of overthinking, my overthinking, because I know I've not spoken to them. I know I don't know why they've done this, that, and the third. I know all of these things already, but what I'm reviewing is my reaction to it. Is there anything I could have done better? Is there anything and then coming to the conclusion of it? It's you who's trying to conflate this into something else. Because again, I even asked in the previous video, does the answers, if I was to confront them and ask them, why did you leave me out? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Would their answers make any difference to me progressing myself, to me bettering myself? No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. What's done is done. What's happened has happened. But within that morning vlog, I'm taking that opportunity to just air it out. Just air it out. The same way I'm doing now. Being transparent, reading the comment, telling my honest thoughts, which apparently now are bullying you because I'm doing it so publicly. Like, if you didn't want me to respond the same way you're saying that I didn't want you to, then you shouldn't have commented then. The same way I wouldn't have made the video, you wouldn't have commented if you didn't want a response. Just because you're unhappy that I'm making a video rather than typing it out, just because you're unhappy that I'm taking the time to actually detail how you are wrong rather than just typing a comment, just because you're unhappy with the way that I'm responding, doesn't mean that I've not got a right to respond. In fact, that you I'm very sorry that you are in a place where you misconstrued my comment as negative or derogatory. There's no I'm not misconstruing anything. You wrote what you wrote, didn't you? That's exactly what you said at the very beginning of this comment. You wrote what you wrote. Okay, so I can only go off the text that is there. There's nothing to misconstrue. I'm reading what is exactly there. When in fact, I was trying to tell you that you aren't the problem and share tools that I use in my life to avoid feeling the way you are feeling. Really did not seem like you were trying to tell me that I'm not the problem. You did. It seemed more like you were trying to tell me that I'm reaping what I sow. I'm getting what I deserve. I'm getting back what I put out there. Because what was it that you said? You said relationships are mirrors. You get back what you put in. That doesn't sound like you telling me that I'm not the problem. But okay. Okay. At least according to what you said in the video. If you don't want people to impart advice or comment about your life situations, maybe don't post public videos that pose questions to the viewers, such as, am I the problem? I mean, if you don't want me to respond, then maybe don't comment in it. Like, the very things that you're saying to me are the exact same things that could be boomeranged right back to you. So rather than talking about these things, let's talk about the problems at hand in it. But it's always when people like you do this, it's like it's like the situation back in 2021, and I'm gonna put these videos up as well. But again, it's like the situation back in 2021. Rather than actually talking about what the problem is, you skirt around my response, what I'm doing wrong, how I should have handled the situation in response to what you have done. You made your comment. You responded to me. I'm responding back to you You don't like the response. I'm responding back to you again. You could have ignored it. You literally could have ignored that video. You literally could have ignored it and just left it as it is. And then it's done. It's done. You carry on living your life. I live my life. But no, you responded. So I'm going to respond back to yourself. If you don't want people to impart advice or comment about your life situations, maybe don't post public videos that pose questions to the viewers such as, am I the problem? I had to stop watching at the point which you falsely accused me of blocking you on Twitch. But you did. You literally did. You can't even prove to me why you haven't. You can't, like, all you're saying is that I've not blocked anybody since Like, no, you blocked me on Discord, you blocked me on Facebook, you blocked me on Instagram, and that. If I was following you on Twitter, which I don't think I was because I fucking hate Twitter and I don't use it like that and shit. Do you know what I mean? You blocked me on fucking Twitch. All these places I tried to contact you and I couldn't. And it wasn't because I wanted us to communicate or I'm checking in on you or anything like that. It's because other people were publicly asking for your whereabouts. So I'm trying to look for you. Could not find any way of communicating with you. So no, like... But I sincerely hope that the tone of your speech took a positive turn. You sincerely hope the tone of my speech took a positive... What? From what? Because the part I watched just made you look like a bully, despite the fact that from what I've seen, you are not one to bully people. No, I'm not. Anyway, I'm very sorry if you sincerely believe that I hate you or that my comment was meant to be negative. Okay. I love the framing on this. And I love how you just don't address anything except roundabout or confirming things that I've said. Okay, so you don't address anything in regards to the reason why me and you fell out. Nothing at all. The only thing that has upset you and the reason why you stopped watching the video is when I accused you of blocking me on Twitch, right? Which I did very early on in the video. And it's an hour-long video. It's within the first few minutes, like 2-3 minutes, that I say you've blocked me everywhere, including Twitch, and how I know you blocked me on Twitch. What the fuck? So that's the only thing you're addressing, the fact that, like, oh, you couldn't have blocked me because you mod for other channels, and the only reason why you blocked people is because they've said racist things to you, called you racist names. I mean, okay. Okay. So you block me everywhere else, but Twitch, nah, you've not blocked me on Twitch. And all that confirms to me is you're hate watching. You are hate watching. Because it seems you can still see me, but I can't see you. Do you know what I mean? I can't see your channels or anything like that. But if you want to go and find me, you can go and find me. And all now, I've not said a fucking word about you. I've not thought about you or anything. This is the first time I thought anything about you. And why? It's because you chose to make yourself known by commenting. Like I said, it's been almost a year since we last spoke to each other. And this is how you're choosing to pop out. If you were really concerned about my well-being, you would have private messaged me, but you didn't. You chose to come at me in the comments. I'm not making fun of you. I'm debunking what you're saying. I'm countering what you're saying. I'm detailing the real reason why you are going on the way that you are going on. And the unfortunate thing is that people can back me up. Not that I need them to, because again, if you want to unblock me on Discord so we can see each other's messages, we can do that. And again, you will see from the very beginning, I said to you, it is not that deep. You have not done anything wrong. You were the one who brought up 1,000 hours of support. You were the one who brought up bits and bobs of our situation. That's you, not me. You were the one who chose to insert our situation into this situation. That doesn't, your approach doesn't sound like someone who is checking up on my well-being, concerned for my well-being. That doesn't sound like someone who's telling me I'm not the problem when you're saying to me, I'm getting what I give out. And people can read the comment. Unless you delete it. There's nothing that I was trying to communicate that I'm changing. I'm literally repeating myself. Because I love it when people say some shit, change their tone in another response with the whole, but what I was trying to communicate was this. So why is it that you can communicate it now, but you couldn't communicate it before? And again, if you would have watched the video, which you probably haven't watched this one, but if you would have watched the video, then you would have seen. If you really want to talk about this, we can talk about this privately. You can unblock me. You can send me a message. If we need to clear the air on things, we can clear the air on things. But that's not going to happen, though, is it? Because you would rather try and make me look like some sort of dickhead publicly and then claim that I'm bullying you publicly when all of this is just public. If you want to make a video response, you can do. But the reason why I'm not leaving it to a comment is because I know I've got a whole lot more to say than just what's in a comment. That's why I've done a video. So it's up to you. In this title, I will say, this is what, in response to you again, this is what happens when you don't watch the whole video. And it's going to be up to you whether you choose to watch it or not and actually understand the full context in terms of what's being said, because you're just trying to piece and bits and bobs together and coming up with bollocks. That's why you're not making any sense. That's why if there was anything to win, you're not winning. That's why we're not reaching any kind of common ground. That's why at this point in time, Mary, you're just full of shit.